In this video, you're going to find out how Xbox was caught in a fib regarding its claims of 100% backwards compatibility. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel, where we give you the tips and tricks to crush the games you love. So, one of the big selling points for the Xbox Series X was that it was going to have free 100% backwards compatibility with all the other previous versions of Xbox. But that wasn't really tested out until they started sending out these review Xbox Series X's to independent journalists and influencers. Sony, on the other hand, has been widely criticized because the PS5 will not be backwards compatible 100%, and it will not be backwards compatible for PS3 and earlier games. So in that sense, it's true that Xbox is better because you could play Xbox 360 games, for example, on it, but you can't play a PS3 game on the PS5. But the claim of 100% backwards compatibility has been proven false by one YouTuber with 1 million subscribers, Yongyea. You know, he plays it pretty straight down the middle. He's not a Sony pony. He's not an Xbox hater. He just tells it like it is, and he's not gonna exaggerate. And if you watch his video, he's pretty positive on the Xbox Series X overall and doesn't really criticize them too much for the fact that they've fibbed on their claims of 100% backward compatibility. What he was doing was he was playing his favorite games from the previous generations and checking load times for them. So his Xbox One games and checking load times. And when he checked The Witcher, for example, The Witcher wouldn't load up at all. So The Witcher 3, that is. So The Witcher 3 is not backwards compatible with the Xbox Series X at the current time. And it probably won't be by launch day either. So if you follow the CD Projekt Red news like I do, you'll know that they are going to do a free upgrade for the next generation consoles, but that's not going to be on launch day. And I think the indications from their half-year conference call with their investors is that they probably won't have that until 2021, not November. So if you have The Witcher 3 and you want to play it on your Xbox Series X, you're out of luck until that upgrade comes through. And also, if you want to continue to play The Witcher 3, you better hold on to your Xbox One, because you're not going to be able to play it probably on the launch day for the Xbox Series X and S. Now, I reached out for the Xbox for comment. I'm going to read their full statement from the Xbox support. And I also reached out for CD Projekt Red, which did not get back to me on this. And then at the end of the video, we're going to go through the compatibility for the PS5 versus for PS4 games, and we'll find that it's over 99% compatibility. There's very few games that you can think of that will not be backwards compatible that you can play day one on the PS5. But in defense of Xbox, PS5 has not sent, or Sony Playstation has not sent the PS5s to independent journalists or influencers. No one has been able to test the PS5 in their office or their home, and so we don't know what surprises awaits for the PS5. Only the Xbox Series X has been tested by independent media. Nevertheless, I think this highlights two things. Number one, it's not automatic that the developers need to do something to make their games compatible for the next generation console, in this case the Xbox Series X. And the other issue is that CD Projekt Red has not been able to implement a dual franchise model, that they have not been able to support their two franchises, Cyberpunk and The Witcher. They are only able to support one at a time. And the fact that they're not ready on day one for people with the next generation consoles to play The Witcher 3 is going to hurt their shareholders, cause them to miss out on expanding the franchise. So here's the comments from Xbox support. Like I said, CD Projekt Red has not commented, although I asked for comment. So I reached out to Xbox support on Twitter, and I also asked for comment from CD Projekt Red, which I'm still waiting on. But Xbox support did say it has been reported. This is my question in the blue. It has been reported that Witcher 3 is not backwards compatible with the Xbox One version of the game. That version will not work on Xbox Series X. Is this true? Does this contradict statements by Xbox executives of 100% backward compatibility? And this is Xbox support's response. Hi Linus, at this time, according to all information we have regarding backward compatibility for the next gen consoles, all Xbox One titles will be playable on the Xbox Series XS at launch. Since we're currently pre-launch, it's possible that the coding for some games have not been completed. As this is up to the developers, you may want to contact them for more information about their game. Bearing in mind that CD Projekt Red is currently ensuring that Cyberpunk 2077 is ready to go for launch, this may be one of the factors as to why this is happening with The Witcher 3, but that is pure speculation on our part as fans, since Xbox support has no official information regarding that directly. We'd recommend waiting closer to the launch date for next-gen consoles, or see what is or is not possible at launch, but we're sure that Witcher 3 will be awesome on the series consoles. We hope this information helps you out. Was there anything we could help you out with today? So PlayStation just announced this tweet via tweeting that we're going to go to the blog. When PS5 launches this November, more than 99% of the PS4 library will be playable on PS5. So I think one of the big digs that Xbox has had on Sony at this launch has been the fact that all the Xbox games are supposed to be backwards compatible. But as we found with Yongyea's report, The Witcher 3 at this time, we're not at launch day, but The Witcher 3 for Xbox One is not backwards compatible. And while they are making a PS5 version for The Witcher 3, which will be a free upgrade to current owners, we don't know when that's going to come out. So I'm going to read the PlayStation blog. So it seems like both PlayStation and Xbox are pretty similar, at least with respect to the previous generation, that is the PS4 or Xbox One generation games. The only difference is that maybe you can get your Xbox 360 games on your Xbox Series X versus you can't get your PS3 games on your PS5. Okay, so here's the PlayStation blog for today, October 9th, 2020. PS4 games on your PS5, your top questions answered. Details on backward compatibility, how Game Boost enhances select PS4 titles, and more. When the PlayStation 5 launches this November, more than 99% of 4,000 plus games available on the PS4 will be playable on the PS5. We know you have questions about how PS4 games will work on the PS5, so here's a quick overview of some common questions we've seen from the PlayStation community. What console games are supported with PS5's backward compatibility feature? We're focused on the huge catalog of games on the PlayStation 4, and we're pleased that more than 99% of PS4 games will be playable on the PS5 on day one. This includes games that have defined the PS4 generation, from critically acclaimed PlayStation exclusives like The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima to blockbuster hits from third-party partners. What is the difference between playing PS4 games on the PS5 Digital Edition console versus a PS5 console with the Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive? The gaming experience on both models will be the same. However, you have access to content. you access the content to play will differ. PS5 Digital Edition, you'll be able to play digital versions of the compatible PS4 games on the PS5 Digital Edition console. These will be compatible with PS4 digital games you have already purchased or plan to purchase via PlayStation Store or PS4, PS5 web or PlayStation mobile app. Since there's no disk drive, you won't be able to play your PS4 disc-based games on the PS5 Digital Edition, right? So if you've got a lot of PS4 disc-based games that you want to play on the PS5, you don't want the digital. And then the PS5 with Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive, you can play the digital versions of your compatible PS4 games you downloaded from PlayStation 4, 5, web, or PlayStation mobile app. You can also use physical PS4 game discs with the one with the disc drive. When you sign into PS5 with your account for the PlayStation Network, you will automatically see your library of played PS4 content through the menu. Be sure to keep your PS5 console updated to the latest system software available and apply all game patches to the game. What is the PS4 game experience like on the PS5? PS4 titles will get even better on the PS5. Select PS4 titles will see increased loading speeds and on the PS5 console, and will also leverage Game Boost, offering improved or more stable frame rates. Some titles with the unlocked frame rates or dynamic resolution up to 4K may see higher fidelity. Additionally, PS4 games will also take advantage of some of PS5's new UX features, but more to come on that later. Are the games from the PlayStation VR backwards compatible? Yes, PlayStation VR games are included among the thousands of PS4 games that are playable on the PS5. Please note that playing VR games on the PS5 console requires a PSVR headset, DualShock 4 wireless controller, or a PlayStation Move controller, and a PS camera for PS4, which are sold separately from the PS5 console. Also, the PS5 HD camera is not compatible with PSVR on PS5. You'll need to use the PS camera for PS4 and the PS camera adapter, no purchase required to use PSVR on PS5. What about PS4 games on PS Now and PS Plus? Backwards compatible PS4 games included on PS Plus and PS Now will run on PS5. Can I stream PS4 games on PS5? Yes, remote play from PS4 to PS5 and PS Now streaming are supported. The benefits of streaming is that you can save your storage space on PS5. Please note that PS4 games will not leverage PS5's Game Boost through streaming. How do PS4 game transfers and game saves work between the two consoles? You can transfer digital games, game data, and game saves from the PS4 console to the PS5 console using LAN cables or by connecting wirelessly Wi-Fi. If you're already stored PS4 games and game data in the external USB storage device connected to your PS4, you can bring them over to PS5 with that external USB storage device. And if you are a PS Plus member, you can also sync PS4 games saves on PS5 through cloud storage. Please note that the ability to transfer game saves between PS4 version and PS5 version of the same game is a developer decision and will vary by title for cross-generation games. Right, so that's important. So in theory, you should be able to transfer your game saves, but then they have this caveat saying that that'll vary by developer to developer. For Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, when players decide to upgrade from PS4 to PS5, their game saves will transfer. Sackboy, A Big Adventure, will also support game saves from PS4 to PS5 in an update that will be delivered shortly after the release of the game. We'll share additional details on both games closer to launch. So those are some of the big launch titles. How will I know which PS4 games aren't playable? Games that are only playable on PS4 will be noted on the PlayStation 4 as playable on PS4 only. So you go to the PlayStation 4, if it says playable on PS4 only, then you're not going to be able to use that on your PS5. And we have a list of games that are only playable on PS4, along with additional information on backward compatibility here, PlayStation.com/PS5 Backwards Compatibilities. Right, and they reiterate, if players originally purchase a PS4 game disc, the PlayStation 5 with an Ultra HD Blu-ray disc is required. So don't get the digital if you've got a lot of disc games that you want to play on the PS5. All right, so and I'll show you the list. It's a pretty small list that they have right here of games that are not backward compatible, that are only PS4 games. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right? So if they got 4,000 games, 11 is less than 1% of the library. Note that The Witcher 3 is not on this list, so conceivably it should be day one compatible with the PS5. But of course, right, we found out about this Witcher 3 incompatibility issue from one of the Xbox testers, which was Yongyea. We did not find it from CD Projekt Red or Xbox, right? So until we actually have people that have the units, we won't have that double check. I'm Linus Wilson. Subscribe. We give you the secrets of the next generation consoles.